Welcome to Learning to Draw Comics, where you can come here, you can learn to draw comics with me, Nick Fights. I'll be your instructor for today. And today I'm not really going to be instructing anything. This is going to be sort of just a let's draw. The theme being Ed, and Eddy. So, never really drawn the characters before. Let's see what I can come up with. Now, originally, Ed, and Eddy, they were on a cartoon show that I myself could not even watch. I didn't have cable TV. But, so given that that's the challenge, I just sort of threw it out there. I always liked the show anyway when I got a chance to watch it at a cousin's house or a friend's house or something. I'm going to go ahead and draw them in my style, as opposed to the style you currently see above you here. Eddy. So I'm going to picture each one of the characters as their persona, and then given my style of drawing them, I'm going to add my kind of tweaks, add my kind of changes. So first off, there's, over here, Ed. Ed I kind of see as like that sort of bully character that was like maybe friends of a few nerds, but it was better off that he had a few friends than just being lonely. So although he was kind of brutish in a way and kind of mean and stuff, you were sort of glad that that sort of brutish nerd was at least on your side. So I'm gonna give him kind of a square jaw, a square face, less cranium space, because again this kind of character is like one that's like all mouth, so it's like all attitude. And he sort of has like a button, cartoony kind of nose, and I'm going to give him just sort of one of those big, nostril kind of lump noses. With just like a little bit of adolescent cheeks and everything, but he's definitely jowls and all chin. Maybe even has like a double chin happening. He's just a stout kid. More like a smaller ear. Smaller ear, therefore making the rest of his proportions actually look pretty enlarged. And he's going to have a bit of a bug-eyed look, as these characters are always ones for expressions, and I actually knew somebody who had some pretty sunken eye sockets and just these really bug eyes. He was kind of brutish and bullyish, but I literally think the kid did not even realize how annoying he was. I don't know if they have kind of zits or sort of acne or something going on up here. Something on the side of his head. And he's got this sort of wicked flyaway hair represented by just like those 3 strands. So I don't know if he was balding as a teenager. I don't really know. But I'm going to assume he was trying to do something like a flock of seagulls kind of thing, where he wanted like, you know, a greaser style hairdo, but it could just never do it the way it was supposed to. Never supposed to slick straight back, but I bet he always had a problem with, like, his family probably couldn't afford hair gel. So instead you got like this Donald Trump thing happening off the side there. And of course little beady eyes. I'll give him a little bit of life to him though. A little bit of highlight in there. Because again, he was kind of brutish, but he was still, you know, it's like he was always vying for being the alpha of the group. So he still has friends. They're still willing to be his friends. So he's not going to be so beady that he's basically just monstrous. But he definitely has like that 90s kind of shaved underlook, or undercut look. Like the side of the head is shaved like a bowl cut. Give that kind of stuff happening. And his mouth, I'm gonna give him this really wide grimace. He's just always malcontent. Always this kid. Maybe he's got a strong jawline here, but as I said, maybe he's got just like a thick kind of neck. And he had his bandana. So in the way that he was kind of brutish and like a brute, and just almost like a bully, borderline bully, always getting the guys into hijinks and troubles and stuff. Maybe he thought of himself like a bandit. That's why he's got the Got that bandana hanging off his neck there. And it looks like he's wearing some kind of like sports jersey or a striped shirt. Even though I guarantee he doesn't have the build to sort of play sports. So I'll just put some wrinkles down at the bottom of his sleeve. I'm just giving him that wide figure. Not like the kid really ever lifted weights, it's just you imagine he was just always up to something, always into doing something. And kind of built muscle that way. You know, breaking down cardboard boxes and making forts or something, and building things in a shed. So yeah, there's my Ed. Alright, we'll do a lot of people's favorites. I'm going to do Double D. Double D is just simply that. It's Ed with 2 Ds. Now he was kind of like the funnier one of the group, the kind of more laid back. If I could hazard a guess, I would say he's probably more like the stoner of the group. Even though Eddy is kind of, you know, the complete brain dead one, Double D was always more of like the smiles. Could probably actually talk to ladies, so I'm gonna give him my version of just sort of all cheeks. You know, he's building up all these cheeks over the years from smiling so much, just having a good time. Let's focus on his eyes here. Maybe make his eyes just like a little bit wider. Even though in the cartoon they're all very close together. Give him these very laid back eyebrows. Not really too fierce the way Ed was. It's more laid back. And I'll give him a kind of a big rounded childlike nose, just like a teen that never really grew out of his adolescent nose or childhood nose. A little bulbous button nose there. This lower lip, a little bit of thickness to it. Kind of like he's out there with his "yeah man," like whatever that show was. Dude swears all the time saying "science man" or whatever. Never watched that show actually. As huge as that show got, I would not support a show that glorifies selling drugs to pay bills in America. Just not my thing. So I'm gonna give him a little soft chin. That's kind of set further back than his big cheeks. Soften up his jawline too. And then proportionately, I'm going to give him almost normal size ears, but they're going to tip out a bit. That'll give him a bit more childlike look. Now he's got hair. I've seen it in some episodes, but I'm going to go ahead and cover it up with his hat that he usually wears. That sort of childhood attitude of like always wearing a winter hat, even though it's summertime. Let's see, it's got little stripes going up the side of it. So I'll show them sort of wrinkling back, coming together down there. So there's Double D coming together with his black cap. And of course, got to finish him off with his eyes, otherwise it's just looking like a goblin here. So I'll make his eyes just a little bit bigger than the last one. And of course, still giving him the highlight. And then, let's see, you can see a bit of his hair kind of scraggly, like, sort of hanging out the back. So I'll give him like the J Muse, kind of long hair hanging out from underneath. And then there's his neck. I'll give him just like a good teenager's kind of neck. He, of course, too, like a bandit, he's got. They're like the young guns of the neighborhood, these kids. So there's his bandana around his neck with his droopy shoulders. Give him that kind of like hooder and relaxed. Definitely not contemplating too many deep situations going on inside that cranium. So there's his stooped shoulders. Nice slope. And there's my double D. Then moving on to the funniest one, I would say is my favorite of the bunch, is Eddy. With his huge trench coat and stuff, always wearing his jacket. Okay, so he's kind of got like a Cro-Magnon style of proportions, where he's a smaller cranium case than what we currently have. So I'm going to give him this large cylinder of a head. Put his eye line somewhere up near the top. It almost looks like I'm drawing a plank of wood with a face. So I'm going to rough in where the eyes are going to go. I'm going to make his eyes pretty beady. Making his eyes smaller will make the rest of the proportions of his whole head seem a lot larger too. And he too has a real strong kind of button nose. And so I'll put that there. Like, this is definitely the type of kid that's picked his nose way too much. His nostrils are huge. He, of course, is going to have a real dopey kind of smile. Cutting them cheeks back. And he's going to have this big, huge, rounded chin. It's going to draw back on his jawline. So as he's laughing, he's putting his chin kind of like all out there. He'll be bulking up his lower lip because of it. I'll just cartoon it a bit here by lifting his tongue up into that mouth. So you can see his upper teeth, see his lower teeth. He just has this immense unibrow, so I'm going to give him this huge puberty hit me way too early kind of Cro-Magnon brow line there. And just connect it slightly in the center there. Alright, I'm going to bring his eyes to life. He kind of has like a deadpan set of eyes. Almost like they're not even focusing. He's a bit cockeyed. So they're kind of going outward. I'm going to say, it's just like he's too excited. And then he's got like the, what is it, the proud dad buzz cut. Like his dad wants him to go into military, you know, so he's got that short buzz cut. Like his parents had high hopes for him. It's not going. Just not coming through. So give him that little bit on the sideline there, keep it hairline. And then just some big dopey ears. It was just like a little bit of a widow's peak there and make it still disappear behind his brow line. So big strong jaw, but like just happy as a child. Although he's got like the cranium to become an adolescent or a full adult. Narrow it up here and just give him like the shoulders of a child. So he's got his coat. nice guy. Oh, of course, he's got a bandana too. Never even noticed all three of these guys were wearing bandanas. That's just the thing to do. We need our bandanas. We're in the club. There we go. And of course, like, I'll give him another set of stooping shoulders, just drooping right down. There's just the little wrinkles that are coming out of the armpits there. There's his jacket. So there's Eddy. So all in all, this has been my Ed, and Eddy Let's Draw. So if you liked what you saw, excellent, subscribe. If you didn't like what you saw, regardless, who cares? Tell somebody else then. They might like it. But for now, this has been Learn to Draw with Nick Fights. If you want to come on back, we'll have more tutorials in the future. Stick around. So I hope this has been fun for you, because it's been fun to me. In the meantime, by the next time I get the next video up, what I would hope for all of you is to draw! Good night.